Well, hello there everybody, welcome back. Got a whole bunch of new lessons here ready for you, and this Saturday we're starting with one lick, put it in through 5 different modes. This is a great way to actually capitalize on spending a lot of time to get one lick down. You can really make it sound like a lot of different stuff by just moving it through different scales and modes and stuff like that. If you want the tabs for this lesson, I have a new way to get tabs. I think this will be so much better for everybody. There's a link down below. All you have to do is you sign up for my mailing list, and it gives you the tabs. This way, you don't have to hunt through a list of like 30 other lesson videos on my website, figure out, wait, where are the tabs for this one at? All you got to do is go down there, sign up for the mailing list, and you get the tabs. And it's the same spot always. That's down there, but down below. Make sure you snag those. And we're going to jump into this. Like I said, we're going to be taking, one simple lick, one concept, and moving it in a whole bunch of different modes. And, really getting the most mileage out of it. So let's just go ahead, grab the tabs, and let's get ready to rock and roll. Alright, so the first one here is basically what they're all based off of, and we're starting out of our E major scale, or E Ionian mode, whichever one you would like to call it. And, you've probably done this a very simple lick before, this kind of like arpeggio lick, or maybe the reverse of it. Something like that. You've probably done that lick before in some solo, and basically what we're doing here is we're taking that and we're moving it through the scale. So we take that concept of this pattern that we have kind of like programmed into our right hand and our left hand, and we adjust it accordingly to what the scale is doing, what we need to do to keep it inside of, a particular scale or mode. So for this first one, real slow, it's this. So if I can play it a little bit cleaner. Okay, so what exactly am I doing here? So I'm just using good old alternate picking, nothing crazy. Okay, so I'm going 14 on the D to 13 on the G, and then 16 on the G. So that's down, up, hammer is what I'm doing. My trusty cell phone always rings in a lesson. Okay, so I do that twice. Down, up, hammer, down, up, hammer. Then I shift and I go 14 on the B, 14 on the G to 12 on the B, and then 16 on the B. Same picking. Again, my right hand is staying very consistent through this. So 14, 12, 16. Shifting down again to the B string, I go 14, 12, 16 on the high. Pretty convenient because those last two shapes are exactly the same. Now, if we were to really dive into the theory side of it, we are technically outlining different chords when we're doing this stuff. But let's not worry so much about that right now. We're just focused on, we're actually just playing through this mode, the Ionian mode. So we have this. And you can of course descend it. And I highly encourage that. But just sit there with it and kind of move your way through it, and then that'll help you when we get to this next set. Alright, you ready to go? Because we are venturing into my favorite scale ever! The good old pentatonic scale. And with this particular lick, I really like it, because with the pentatonic scale, the notes are pretty far apart. And it has, to me, like a unique sound to it, to where it's very usable, Some of the other modes have a very strong sound, which is just kind of like, oh, that's totally Lydian. This is just kind of like a really musical sound. I just like how far apart the notes are. So real slow, it goes like this one. So that is it, and you can of course move this through the entire pentatonic scale. All kinds of cool things you can do with it. But for now, we're just going to go going like this. So we start on 14 again. I'm rooting all of these on the E. Well, almost all of them. Now, instead of going to 13 now, we're out of our minor pentatonic scale, so we're going to have to go to 12. We got to get that minor third. We're going to go 12, hammer on to 16. Okay? Now, we're going to go down to 14 on the G. I'm using my middle finger. And then we go 12 to 17 on the B. And that's what I'm talking about, those wide intervals between your notes. I like that sound a lot. Now the next one, you're going to get 15 on the B with your ring finger, and then 12 to 17 on the high. Again, another one that has wider intervals between it versus something more like that's very close. know, those are much further apart. So we have this. It can be a really cool way to build up into a solo. Maybe you're, you know, whatever it is, you just kind of like work your way into that solo, and it doesn't really sound like you're walking up a scale anymore. It's a very musical way of doing it. So I think that's why I like that one so much. All right, next on the old chopping block is we got to go to the blues scale, which, oh, whoa. I don't even know where I was going with that joke. Blues scale. That's what we're doing. Now, this one I think is really cool because the shapes are easy. I think they're the easier ones to kind of move through. And it goes like this. And although it doesn't necessarily sound bluesy, I'm just utilizing that flat 5 from the blues scale. It's kind of where the bluesiness is coming from. And you know what we're doing is this, and I use my pointer, middle, and pinky finger, or sorry, and ring finger for this one. You more than welcome to use your pinky if you want to. I'm gonna go 14 on the D, 12 on the G, and hammer on to 15. Now here's the thing. My picking, again, is the same. On all these licks, my picking is the same. There's no adjustment for my right hand, so I've really taken out a big part of the equation of the issue of, you know, okay, how am I picking this one? It's like, no, picking's the same. Boom, I don't even need to worry about this hand. I don't even need you anymore. Get out of here. So, no, I'm just joking, I need that hand. So we have that first one. Now I shift up in the scale, and I'm gonna go to the G, and now this is more like a kind of like a straight pentatonic. We're gonna go 16 on the G, and then 15, 17 on the B. Now the final one here, which can be a little bit tricky because we have a double note. We're hitting the same note twice. You're gonna go 17 on the B to 15, 18 on the high. It's actually an octave of the first one, and then you can end it on that 17. I can't remember how I ended it in the video, but however I did. All right, next, here we are. This is the Lydian mode now. So I like Lydian because it has a very strong sound to it. It's a very fun one to kind of mess around with. If you don't know your Lydian mode, it's a great one to look into. Essentially, it's your major scale with the fourth raised. You have a raised fourth in it. So that's where you kind of get that very Lydian sound, that raised fourth. So that means that raised fourth is a very key note that we want to target, because that's, you know, a very unique note to Lydian. So we want to make sure that we hit that note. So we're going to be going like this. Already it sounds Lydian, and I like it. All right, so first things first is we're right here. We're on 14 on the D. Now the next on the G, so that's a down pick, and then you go up on 13. There's our major third. This is what's setting it apart from the last one. And we go to 15. Which I know before was our flat 5. Well, this is our raised fourth out of the major scale. Now I'm going to shift up here, and I'm going to be going to 16 on the G, and then 14, 17 on the B. It loses that Lydian sound a little bit right here. We're still all on key, don't worry, but we're gonna get it back right here. And that is 17 on the B, and then 16, 18 on the high. And now we're back to that like real nice strong Lydian sound. I always tell people, listen to the Simpsons theme song. It's very very Lydian. That's a very key Lydian sound. So that is utilizing our Lydian mode. Still, the same concepts are being applied through all of this. We're just moving it now through a different mode. All right, so the final one I wanted to end off with some harmonic minor. I thought about doing Hungarian minor, but yo, let's kick it with harmonic. I don't do stuff in harmonic very often. This one's a little more extended. It has a fourth shape to it. So we're going to be going like this. Now, what's happening here is I'm going to start on 15 on the A string. Now, that's our minor 6. And you're going to go 13, 14 on the D. So down, up, hammer, hammer. Now, the tricky part is we got to shift back on the D to 13. So you're going to go 13, 12, 14. And the reason why is because I really want to get some of these like signature harmonic minor notes. So we have... Okay, now we're going to shift up here, and this is kind of an octave of a lower shape. We're going to go to 16 on the D, 14, hammer on 17 on the G. Okay, now the final one is right here, which is just 16 on the B, and then 15, 17 on the high. And then I grab that 16, which is your flat 7, and I bend it up to that root note. So all together. And there's that same lick again. All of them have very unique sounds, but like I said, you know, you can add different rhythms, different groove, and you can add swing to it. You know, you can be like, you know, all kinds of things to give it a different vibe. But just take something that you've really got down well, and just try moving it through different modes and seeing how creative you can be with the same shape. It kind of just gets us thinking in a different, you know, different manner, I guess. Alright guys, that is going to be it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like I said, lots of more lessons on the way. I know I kind of took a little break from lessons there for a little bit. Just, you know, I got a little bit burnt out, so I am back and ready to teach all kinds of stuff. Make sure you get the tabs. I'm going to turn my phone on silent because it keeps ringing. But get the tabs. Like I said, they're on the mailing list now. I think it's going to be so much of a better way for you to get the tabs. That way you don't have to hunt through, like, you know, 100 different video lesson tabs on my website. They're going to be right there down below just waiting for you. So other than that, guys, I will be seeing you all on the flippity flop later. High fives up. Can you dig it?